I enjoy using Anchor podcasting services. For one, it's an easy setup. Secondly, you can do everything on the same platform, which includes record and then add music to your podcast if you like. And once your podcast has been saved, you can then distribute it to other platforms with the click of a button. And did I mention that it's free? You couldn't ask for anything better than this. Thank you for tuning into Bringing the Heat with Regina Weston. Here we inspire and deal with topics that matter. Stay tuned. Bringing the Heat listeners, I have a treat for you. I would like to share with you this year's Mending Hearts Women Healing Women Conference. Mending Hearts Women Healing Women is my nonprofit organization that is geared towards educating the community about domestic violence and the effect that it has on the victim as well as the family and the community at large. I have been a domestic violence advocate for over 20 years. I have dedicated my life to service, helping women of all ages, of all cultures, of all nationalities to live a healthy and productive life. Stay tuned. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This year's theme is fatal attraction. Fatal attraction. Any behavior that is aggressive is unhealthy, but actual physical abuse is just one type of aggressive behavior. If the person is controlling, if the person is possessive, if the person is self-centered, if the person is manipulative, if the person criticizes you, if the person is volatile, if the person is dishonest, you are in an abusive situation. And I would like to just talk to you briefly on how it's so easy to get into a situation that can cause you harm, break your self-esteem, and sometimes take your life. Fatal attraction. Listen, young ladies and young men. It's easy to get into an abusive relationship. When you first meet an individual, they don't come into your life revealing their hand. They don't come into your life telling you that their ultimate goal is to control you and to abuse you, to break you down till you feel like nothing. It don't start off like that. They come into your life smiling, trying to portray themselves as the best thing that has ever happened to you. They may start off taking you on a lot of dates, showering you with affection and praise, buying you presents. But then at some point, you start to see cracks in their foundation. It's subtle. I don't like your hair like that. I want you to wear your hair longer. I think longer hair looks better on you. Or that dress is too tight. I don't want other men looking at your body. You're my girl. I don't want people looking at your shape. Why'd you say that? Don't disrespect me. Watch the manner in which you speak to me. I'm the man. I am the head. Why you look at me like that? Don't look at me like that. I'll slap you. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know what type of man I am? And then, if you have the courage to speak up and say something about it, oh, why you tripping? I was just joking. You know I ain't gonna hit you. The person becomes more controlling. The abuse may increase. They want to separate you from your family and your friends. They want to monitor where you go and how you come. They want to monitor who you talk to. They want to monitor your communication on social media. Why can't I have your password? You trust me and I trust you. It's a form of manipulation and control to gain access to your life. So if something does happen to the relationship, they can use your social media platform against you. Then you have the gaslighting. The sky ain't blue. What's wrong with you? You don't know your colors? I'm telling you, the sky is not blue. You don't see that red? If they say that enough, you begin to believe and to doubt yourself that, maybe the sky is not blue. Maybe I'm not seeing what I am seeing. Downgrading your feelings, making you feel that what you are saying is invalid. Girl, why are you always overreacting? I just said shut up. I can see if I push you down the steps or something. What's wrong with me saying shut up? Just go somewhere and sit down. I don't want to be bothered right now. Those are forms of abuse. And let's not mention if you're married to the individual or you live with the individual and you don't have a job or have the resources and they use money to control and to manipulate you, knowing that you depend on them. Maybe you do have a job, but your income is not enough to sustain your living quarters. And so their income pays most of the bills. But if you get in a disagreement with that individual, you need to realize who I am. I'm your bread and butter. The intimidation, getting up in your face. Girl, you better act like you know. You better act like you know. Relationships are not built on fear, are not built on control. Once that individual gets you to a place where you begin to feel hopeless, they got you. When they separate you from your family and your friends, when they start playing mind games and start controlling your thought process, making you feel like you're crazy, when they use their money as a tool to control you, who wants to be homeless? Nobody in their right mind. So sometimes you will settle for things and do things so that that individual will continue to take care of you. Say you're a person that don't have immigration status. They may use that against you. I'm going to call the law on you. I'm going to let them know that you're here illegally. And you're going to get deported. You better listen to me. You better do what I say. And how about if they use sex as a tool? Your job is to please me. You better act like you know and get to work. You don't want nobody else coming up in here doing what you're supposed to do. And so you now feel obligated to do some things that you don't want to do. Or they may force you to do some things that you don't want to do. All forms of abuse. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to live like that. You don't have to settle for that. I know that we are in a pandemic and a lot of the agencies that normally help victims of domestic violence, their resources are low because of COVID. So they're not in a position to always take people that are victims of abuse in. But honey, where there is a will, there is a way. Now I get it. I get it. Sometimes when women get the courage to leave a fatal attraction situation, an abusive relationship, the guy or the girl, they go bonkers. You know why? Because they are losing control. You have regained your voice. You are regaining who you are. You are redeveloping your mindset with the reset button that this is not the life you want. This is not the life you are supposed to be living. And you want peace. And you want better for you and your children if you have them. Now see, they can't have that They can't have that because their life, their self-esteem is built on breaking yours down. It's built on mind control. It's built on physical violence to control every part of your life. So if you leave, what they gonna do? They're nothing. And then they develop the mindset that if I can't have her, guess what? Nobody will. We have to start holding abusers accountable. If someone treats you like crap, just remember that there's something wrong with them, not you. Normal people don't go around destroying other human beings. If you have someone in your life that is trying or succeeding to destroy who you are, trust me, that's a person that you need to remove from your environment because the problem is with them, not you. I'm going to pause right here. I want you to listen to this interview I did in 2021 with Margaret Smith. You are a survivor of domestic violence. Can you briefly share your story?
We got married. It's like all hell broke loose. First cursing me out and just acting ways that just wasn't normal. Eventually he started and beat on me. I was afraid when he went to work and come back in. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what way he was coming in. Sometimes he would come in raging for what. He can't come in accusing me that I've been with somebody, and every man in the building, even though they had their own wives and partners. I don't know what happened in his life to cause him to be that way, but he could be nice to everybody, but when it came to me, I was the worst person in the world.
What is your advice to another woman who may find herself in a similar situation?
One time, get ready to know that he's going to do it again. If you don't do something about it, he's going to continue. Either you go to the law, tell you to get out if you can. And you may ever want the relationship, but it's not a real relationship. You just have to make up in your mind that you're not going to take it.
1 Corinthians 13:4-8. It let us know that love is patient and that love is kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Maybe you don't know what love is because you have never been in a relationship where you felt valued, or maybe you have never been in an environment, a loving home, where you were nurtured and you were loved and you were cherished. Therefore, your definition of love has been clouded. But I'm here to tell you on today that if someone is degrading you, speaking down to you, putting their hands on you, trying to control you, that is not love. Because love, again, is patient and it is kind. It is not rude. It is not resentful. And it certainly does not try to control you. So reevaluate your perception on what love is and base it on what the Word of God says so that you can start to receive healthy love. I thank you for joining us for this year's conference. I hope that something was said to enlighten you, to let you know that you are important and that you do not have to settle for less than what you deserve. You deserve a new beginning. Now, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Be blessed. It takes a lot of strength and courage to put the past behind you and stand up and say, I will not let it define me. To push forward and create the life that you truly deserve and not focus on bad things that life handed you in the past. You no longer have to be a victim to domestic violence. You can be a survivor. Why? Because you deserve to be in a loving relationship. You deserve to be accepted and appreciated for who you are. Now, if you would like to support this podcast, you can do so by using my Cash App at $RWeston252. Now, until we meet again, go and grab yourself a mirror. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, I am loved, I am unique, and I am valuable. Now give yourself a kiss. That's a kiss from me to you. Know that I love you and I got your back. Thank you, Bringing the Heat listeners. To listen to this podcast, go to anchorfm.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play, where we bring